Welcome back. This is part 3. So in part 1, we reviewed, got set up, made sure our paper was organized. In part 2, we talked about writing topic sentences. And now in part 3, what I'm going to show you is how I will write text evidence for each of the body paragraphs, okay? So when I write text evidence, I want to remember a couple of things. One, I want to make sure that I'm using evidence-based terms. 2, I want to make sure that I'm including specific and relevant text details. And 3, I need to elaborate. This is like explaining or saying, what does that mean? Like, so what? I'm going to show you how I do that. First, evidence-based terms. These are things we've talked about before. And this anchor chart here is posted on the assignment page for you. Yours is in color. Mine is just in black and white. But these evidence-based transition terms are like words and phrases that we use to make it clear in our writing where we're finding the support for the ideas, which is coming from the text, from Winds of Hope and from Wheelchair Athlete, right? Here's an example of one evidence-based transition term. We might write something like, on page, 25. On page 25, the author states, blah, 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 right? And then to elaborate, I would say, this highlights the idea that blah, 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 blah. Here's a different one. On page 25, the text states blah, 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 blah. This highlights the idea that blah, blah, blah. So here's the elaboration. The elaborate is like, so what? So what does that mean? Here are some others. And again, you have all of these on the anchor chart that's posted on the assignment. According to the text, and this shows that blah, 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 right? We have one example, another example. Or we have the author states that this means, or for instance. So lots of examples for evidence-based transition terms. And now I'm going to show you how I would use them along with my evidence. So I'm going back to my notes from yesterday. You are going to refer to your T-chart from yesterday. So you have your T-chart with William and Marilyn with all your text evidence. I'm going to refer to mine for Henry Ford, right? So I said he's curious, wanted to solve a problem, and then I had evidence from different pages. So here on page 20, I wrote that the author had said he was curious about engines. He built a steam engine that chugged, but then it exploded. And when he was 12, he saw his very first engine-powered buggy. He asked the driver, question, right? So I'm going to maybe combine these two and make one sentence. Watch how I do it. Remember, I'm not doing my introduction. Here's my topic sentence. And now I'm going to go right here and I'm going to use a transition-based, an evidence-based transition term to include this. So I can say the text and I'm going to give the title of the text. The text, The Inventor's Secret, I put quotes. I put quotes around the title, The Inventor's Secret. The text, The Inventor's Secret, said that Henry was curious. I'll say Henry built a steam engine of his own that exploded It also said that when he was 12, he saw his very first engine-powered, and I think the text said buggy, not car, but buggy, because that's what it was called back then. Engine-powered buggy. He asked the driver many questions. So this is all text evidence. This is stuff that I read in the text, right? Now I have to elaborate. So I'm going to say, these details show, I ran out of space. These details, I'm going to go onto the back side of my paper. These details show how curious, because they do, right? They show that he was curious. How curious Henry was about all things machine and engine related. Period. And then, I can go on and I have lots more details here. I used this and this kind of in one. I could go on and write about this one when he was 17. The text said when he was 17, he got a job at a machine shop and he built a steam engine, but it only sputtered along for about 40 feet and then it fell apart. And I can say, this shows his curiosity, but also his drive to fix a problem with the reliability of these machines. And on page 26, the text said, Henry built a quadricycle out of bicycle parts with 2 cylinders. And it worked. Woohoo! But it cost too much money to make. And again, this highlights how Henry wanted to make an engine that was affordable. He's trying to solve a problem. So I'm constantly referring back to what it is that Henry was trying to do. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, now it's your turn. You already have your topic sentences. You have your topic sentence for William, and you wrote your topic sentence for Marilyn. So now you're going to look at your notes from yesterday, look at your T-chart, and also refer to the anchor chart and use evidence-based terms to write evidence for those 2 body paragraphs. After you write the evidence, make sure you elaborate. Explain, what does it mean? What does it show? What does that highlight? All right, ladies and gentlemen, good luck. After you do this, both body paragraphs are done. And tomorrow, together, we'll work on the introduction and the conclusion. All right, good luck, ladies and gentlemen. Do your best. Make yourselves proud.